If a unit that comes out is restrictive in terms of its team building and is therefore a niche unit due to the unique mechanics inside their kit, then honestly I do not care. So welcome everyone. Let me tell you why Nilou being niche is not a problem. There's actually a bigger problem in Genshin Impact. So what is the kind of driving force behind Genshin Impact? Well, it is almost this idea that you save Primogems, you pull for the character that you really like, and now you go and you farm some materials, you get weapons, artifacts. We all kind of understand this basic gameplay loop. So what is at the end of this loop? Well, at the end there is only like the Spiral Abyss floor 12 really, because that's all you have to sort of test your hard work against. You kind of can feel like how dead my voice is, because this is the problem in Genshin. Even if you have a unit that is niche, I can make a niche unit work. If you give me 30 Abyss, Spiral Abyss floors, each of them having 100 level monsters, and you give me a scoring based mechanism, not a time based mechanism, but a scoring based mechanism, as you can see on screen, I can promise you there will be enough content for me to fully showcase Nilou in all of the ways in which she can be showcased, sort of truly stress testing the limits and capabilities, comparing her against other teams. This would be like absolutely the content creator's dream. But unfortunately, we don't have this dream. We've got the reality that I am paying money, or I'm saving up as a free-to-play player for months for a given character, only to be told, well, instead of using the character that you sort of spend money or your time on getting, how about this trading card game? Because that's going to be a lot cooler. And it's just like the priorities of Hoyoverse when it comes to this game is just so backwards. They should really take a couple of lessons from Honkai, because like in Honkai you have like so many combat related content, buffs, debuffs, different ways of playing with your characters, that in a certain sense it feels rewarding to get a Valkyrie there, but it doesn't feel rewarding to get a character in Genshin, because whilst I appreciate the stories, the character quests and all of these sorts of things, when it comes to the long-term replayability, we don't really have anything. This whole game is about the combat. The whole point about Genshin Impact is how do you mix and blend two elements. And in this regard, if you now have a unit that is super niche and specializes in dendro and hydro reactions, well, that is kind of awesome, because then I can sort of say, well, what is the benefit to running a sort of team like this? And hopefully a team that is so dedicated due to a character like Nilou and so restrictive can have massive potential upsides and obviously clear drawbacks in certain scenarios. But I can't really showcase that because there's not enough in the game to do so. We can only make sort of like, I don't know, makeshift sort of comparisons by running around against the Cryo Regis Vine and pretending to do nuke showcases against the Primo Geovishap and some other bosses. At the end of the day, the depth of content creation that's available for us and the depth of playing this game is really stunted, and that is my problem with Nilou. It's like, what am I really gonna get the unit for, because I can't make that nicheness shine. And another big problem that I've gotten is, well, we have all of these characters, and there's no such thing as additional voice lines. There's no such thing as a fragment or a token system where we can continuously grind out characters and slowly and continuously improve, let's say, some sort of score that we've gotten due to some abyss cycle and so on, and hence we can like continuously keep on playing the game, improving ourselves marginally. These are the sorts of things we desperately need in Genshin Impact, and no amount of characters that Hoyoverse throws at us will really solve this problem. They need to give us content. They need to not be afraid to release stages in Genshin Impact that gives you a multitude of, let's say, buffs and debuffs. I want a Genshin Impact dungeon which basically says if you inflict pyro on yourself, you lose immediately half of your attack and you can't be healed for the next minute. I want debuffs like that. I want debuffs that at certain times will emphasize certain metas, and instead of then saying, oh, this team is meta or this or that, and this will be the pull value for your account and all this nonsense, we have a sort of rotating meta where in certain cases, if you have a bunch of niche characters, then for this rotation they're going to perform really, really well, but in other cases they're not going to perform so hot. So then the game could be like really, really interesting, where you could then compare the sort of let's say opportunity cost, or the marginal benefit, I think that's like probably a better word, of running, let's say, niche team versus building out perhaps more generalist characters and so on. You get like, hopefully you guys can sort of get what I'm saying. There's just so much more potential behind all of these things, and at the end of the day, it's increasingly feeling to me as though I'm not getting my money's worth when it comes to Genshin Impact, because as good as animes are, as good as trading card games are, rhythm games, and all these sorts of mini games, what I actually paid for is my characters and being able to actively use them, to actively get value by pressing buttons and seeing them shred mobs to bits. This is the core of Genshin Impact. Yeah, it is frustrating. I'll be really, really honest. But what can we do? This is what we've been given. Honkai Impact video coming up soon, so for those of you that are interested, do stick around for that. I've really been just like frustrated with this game, although I must say this event at the moment currently has certainly helped a bit, but it is kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie.